Dave Burke, First Star Football Report, presented by First Star Logistics. Week 1 of the 2020 Ohio high school football season has been completed, and it's time for you to vote on our offensive and defensive First Star Logistics Players of the Week for each side of the ball. We hope you're enjoying the videos we're producing and ask that you please hit the subscribe button to help us grow our YouTube channel. Who are the nominees for Week 1? We'll look at each one of them when we come back. We want to thank First Star Logistics for their continued support of First Star Football Report. If you're looking for a new career, please check out First Star Logistics as they are hiring. All right, this is how it works. If you're not familiar, last season we had a great time presenting First Star Logistics Players of the Week throughout the season. You will be able to go to firststarfootballreport.com to vote for one offensive and one defensive First Star Football Report Player of the Week. The player with the highest overall vote total will be recognized as the First Star Logistics Player of the Week. This week, we have 16 players on offense and 10 on defense for your consideration. Let's go. We're going to go right to the offensive side of the football and look at our 16 players. So bear with us as we talk about each one of these young men because they had a great game in the first week of the season. We're going to start at Hamilton-Baden High School. Landyn VIDOUREK, quarterback. The junior quarterback passed for 222 yards and 4 touchdowns with 0 interceptions and connected on over 86% of his passes and a 41-7 win over Ross. Cameron Smith, wide receiver, Centerville. Smith only had 1 reception in the game, but it was his play on special teams with a 95-yard kickoff return that helped the Elks escape with a 21-20 win over Kettering-Fairmont. Smith is a young player we feel you need to keep an eye on because last year he showed signs of breaking out. We have a feeling this could be the year, especially over the next 2 seasons because he's got one of the top quarterbacks throwing the football to him in Chase Harrison. But as you can see from the video, what a play here that helped the Elks get a Week 1 win. Justin Berry, quarterback, Miamisburg, went 11 of 17 for 271 yards and 2 touchdowns with 0 interceptions in a 37-8 win over Beaver Creek. Marcus Allen, wide receiver, Clayton-Northmont. The Michigan Pledge came up big with 9 receptions for 102 yards and 3 touchdowns, but none were bigger than the final catch of the game, a game winner with 9 seconds left from Cade Rice to win the game 40-36 over Springboro. TJ ROTELLO, quarterback, Moeller. First-time starter at quarterback, made the move from defense and came up big for the Crusaders, going 6 of 12 for 195 yards and 1 touchdown. Yes, he did have 3 interceptions, but he made up for it with 120 yards rushing and 3 touchdowns in Moeller's 34-17 win over Columbus Bishop Hartley. Jabran Payne, running back, LaSalle. Payne is a name everyone knows about, big-time recruit, picking up a lot of great offers. He combined for 167 yards of total offense and 4 touchdowns, including the Lancers' 2 scores in their 53-52 exciting double overtime win against Elder. Drew Ramsey, running back, wide receiver, Elder. The junior rushed for 82 yards and 3 touchdowns while also pulling down 8 receptions for 70 yards and a score, and the Panthers' 53-52 double overtime loss to LaSalle. Thomas Boyd, running back, Princeton. The senior running back rushed for 122 yards on 17 carries and 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns, including the game winner, as the Vikings beat Hamilton in a hard-fought 33-28 win. William Ingle, running back, Sycamore. The junior running back rushed 25 times for 199 yards and 3 touchdowns, including the game winner to go with 4 receptions for 43 yards and 3 kickoff returns for another 57 yards as Sycamore defeated Lakota East 34-31. Said Johnson, quarterback, Sydney. Johnson, a senior, passed for 160 yards on 10 of 17, passing and 2 touchdowns, while adding 44 yards rushing with a score in a 56-0 blowout win on the road against Greenville. Marvelous Rutledge, running back, Stebbins. The senior two-way player carried the ball 16 times for 156 yards and 2 touchdowns, while adding 6 tackles on defense in a 28-25 come-from-behind win over West Carrollton. Ty Thornton, quarterback, Indian Hill. After sitting out last season to concentrate on basketball, Thornton made a big return, leading Indian Hill to a 42-0 win over Deer Park. The son of former NFL player John Thornton and brother of current West Virginia defensive lineman Jalen Thornton was 9 of 7 for 172 yards and 3 touchdowns, and added 33 yards on the ground with a score, and his team's big win. Brayden Sipple, quarterback, Blanchester. The senior quarterback went 23 of 33 for 333 yards and 4 touchdowns in a 41-27 win over Goshen. Drew Novak, quarterback, Western Brown. Remember the name Drew Novak, only a sophomore. He went 19 of 26 for 308 yards and 3 touchdowns, while also adding 52 yards on the ground and a score in a 62-6 blowout win over Hillsboro. Cade Chisholm, running back, Western Brown. Not to be outdone by the sophomore Novak, Chisholm, a senior, rushed 16 times for 192 yards and 5 touchdowns in the Broncos' 62-6 win over Hillsboro. Kevin Inglis, wide receiver, Norwood. The senior had a big night, pulling down 7 receptions for 178 yards and 3 touchdowns in a 32-26 win over Laughlin. Keep in mind, this was a big win for Norwood as they went 0-10 last season. Those are the 16 players on offense we nominated as players of the week. It takes your vote for one of them to become the offensive player of the week and be considered for the First Star Logistics Player of the Week. We'll return after this message from First Star Logistics and look at the 10 players on the defensive side of the football.
Dave Lapham here, and every day I am grateful for my experience to have played professional football. As a player, I realize self-motivation, leadership, and appreciating your teammates are key. At First Star Logistics, you can use those same attributes to create the life you want for you and your family. Build your future by working hard like I did. You'll see results both on and off the field. Call First Star Logistics today and be part of our winning team.
As we said, we have 10 players on the defensive side of the football for your consideration as our defensive player of the week on First Star Football Report. A reminder, if you haven't done so already, please hit the subscribe button to help us grow our YouTube channel. Let's look at the players. JAIVIAN Norman, linebacker, Springfield. The sophomore had a big game with 14 total tackles, including 9 solo stops in a 21-14 win over Huber Heights Wayne. Will Heffner, linebacker, LaSalle. The senior linebacker posted 14 tackles, including 6 solo stops in the Lancers' 53-52 double overtime win against Elder. Eli Kirk, defensive back, St. Xavier. The junior posted 12 total tackles, including 6 solo stops, forced a fumble, and had an interception. He returned 29 yards in the Bombers' heartbreaking 30-24 loss to Brownsburg, Indiana. David Frederick Jr., linebacker, Dayton Chaminade-Julienne. The senior two-way player posted 10 total tackles, including 6 solo stops, while also having 2 carries at running back for 12 yards and a touchdown. Colton Trampler, linebacker, Clinton-Massie. The junior posted 11 total tackles with 7 solo stops and a half sack in the Falcons' 42-32 win over Kettering Alter. Ethan Braun, defensive back, Dayton Carroll. The senior two-way player posted 6 total tackles, forced a fumble, and combined for 139 yards in kickoff and punt returns in a 26-6 loss to Talawanda. Karan Coleman, linebacker, Piqua. The senior linebacker posted 9 solo tackles, 2 sacks, and an interception in a 26-10 win over their bitter rival, Troy. Hunter Wagner, linebacker, Fairborn. The senior two-way player posted 11 total tackles, 8 solo, with 2 fumble recoveries. For good measure, Warner added 89 yards rushing and a touchdown in a big 21-16 win over Xenia. Max McGowan, linebacker, Marymount. The senior two-way player posted 13 total tackles, 6 solo, to go with 96 yards receiving and a touchdown in a 30-19 win over Taylor. Chris Guest, linebacker, Wyoming. The senior posted 15 total tackles, including 11 solo stops and 1 sack in the Cowboys' 21-0 win over Reading. There you have it. 26 players overall, 16 on offense, 10 on defense, up for your consideration. We hope you would subscribe to First Star Football Report here on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button. Help us grow this channel. Also, we want you to check out firststarfootballreport.com because that's where you have to go to vote for one of these offensive players and one of these defensive players. At the end of Thursday night, the votes will be tallied and we will release who becomes the offensive and defensive players of the week for week 1 and who earns the First Star Logistics Player of the Week.